breaking news from New York City. There is some kind of an emergency apparently at the World Trade Center. First word is a plane has hit one of the towers.
I don't know how something like this could happen.
If there is a God, how could you do this?
What our enemy meant for our destruction, God meant for his good. And on September 11, 2001, when that tragedy hit, there was a real shift in the spiritual landscape of New York City.
God can do anything, yes.
I would just ask God to give people a peace within themselves, that this wasn't in vain.
People are starving for relationships, and ultimately we know they're starving for the peace that only Christ can bring.
When I met the Kentucky disaster relief people, they were very simple talking to us about God. They spoke about Jesus, and I dedicated my heart and my life to Jesus.
All of a sudden, the eyes and the ears of the world were on New York. All of a sudden, the spiritual sensitivities of the people of New York City were heightened. And what we've seen in the last 10 years is a 40% spike in the number of churches planted in Manhattan.
If you do it for God, it's not going to...
There's really tough things people face day in and day out here. It's very difficult circumstances, but God's here.
As you're thinking about 9/11 and thinking about all the things that happened and transpired during that time, just remember that God has used that for His glory and for His good. It's reawakened a church planting movement in the U.S. It's not only happening in New York, but happening in other places. And they can get involved by contacting us at nam.net, mobilize me, and we'd be glad to get them plugged in.